Hello everybody, my name is Jörg Neumann. I'm the executive producer of Crackdown 3.
And I'm Brian Stone, I'm the head of engineering.
Today we launched Crackdown and we've been listening to all your feedback and wanted to address some of your top concerns. The first one that came up a lot was Xbox party support. That's an important feature for everybody, we fully understand. We have some reasons that Brian is going to explain why it's not in the launch product, but we're working on it.
Yeah, and it is coming. That was obviously a really tough decision. And we went into this launch with a lot of caution. Wrecking Zone is something totally new for us. There was a huge investment in enabling a full cloud physics solution for multiplayer games. We ran a lot of technical stress tests leading up to launch, even with player pools up to 3 million. But to be honest, we were expecting to have issues at launch and learn a lot from the huge scale that Game Pass is bringing us. So far, indicators are looking good. We're trending with a success rate about 96% right now. The Azure infrastructure is rock solid. Best news is lots of games are getting played. And we're continuing to monitor. But the reality is we were very, very risk averse heading into launch because of all the unknowns. And that meant keeping the matchmaking flow as straightforward as possible. And that meant holding back on party support.
The good news is, now that we've launched successfully, we have already tested this in our dev sandbox and the next steps.
That's right. So it was a tough decision, but it's on in our dev sandbox now. We did that today, and we're going to test that and update Wrecking Zone with party support as soon as we possibly can.
Your second top concern was campaign co-op saves. So we have a save game system that's actually very empowering, but it can be a little bit confusing. So maybe explain a little bit what to do and not to do.
Yeah, I'll explain a little bit how it works. It has caused some confusion. So the way it works is when you come into a co-op campaign game, you pick a save. And you pick a save even if you're joining another person's session. And when you're not the host and you're joining somebody else's session, that save slot is used to save the state of the game that you played together, which starts from their view of the world. We did that deliberately. We wanted to enable people to be flexible, to be able to play in co-op and then go away and keep playing that game on their own in single player later. But it has created some confusion. And the thing that we want to remind people is just avoid picking the single player save slot that you're using for your single player game as you go into that co-op flow. Now, we are going to revisit the design of that flow and make it simpler so that we avoid the confusion that's been caused. That's on us, but we just wanted to let you know how it works for right now. The other thing is that there is actually a genuine bug in there that we discovered. So if you go into that flow and then you back out one screen, and then you go straight back in, it will stick with the save slot that you previously picked, and that can cause further confusion. So the recommendation for now is if you go into that flow and you decide to change your mind and back all the way back out to the main menu before going back in, and that'll fix it. We're going to fix both of those bugs as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah. And your third top concern that we heard loud and clear was we've locked campaign co-op at 30 frames a second. Was a technical decision.
Yeah, on me. So first of all, we put a lot of work into the PC version, and hopefully people appreciate that. If you play in single player or you play in Wrecking Zone where the physics simulation is completely decoupled from the client, you can do whatever you want. You can unlock the frame rate on the PC build. You can lock to 30, lock to 60, turn VSync on and off, et cetera, et cetera. It all works. On campaign co-op, we have a slightly different networking model. So there we are running the simulation of the world in a dedicated server for everybody. And that simulation has to be tightly coupled to the client. And at the same time, we're also running a network model called CSP where we resimulate physics steps on the fly to minimize the perception of latency to the end user. Now, the combination of all of that means that the client and the server have to stay tightly coupled in terms of their frame rate because the server is running at 30 frames a second. We have experimented with turning the locked frame rate off in co-op. Right now, it causes some issue with the networking, so you see more jitter, more rubber banding because the two physics simulations get out of sync. But we're going to work on that. So for now, what we've done is we've prioritized the best possible experience, which means a smooth networking experience, but locked frame rate. But in the future, we're going to look at unlocking the frame rate but doing it in a way that doesn't reintroduce any network bugs.
Great. Those were the top 3. There are some other issues that we are finding, that you are finding for us. Can you give some examples?
Yeah, so I mean, we're looking at all the feedback as it comes in. We're responding to all the top issues. We're going to continue to support this. There's a few. One example is we heard from you yesterday that some people with high DPI mice, we're seeing some frame rate issues on PC. Well, guess what? We replicated that in our lab. We've already fixed it. It'll be in an early patch. And we just want to keep having feedback from you guys, and we'll react and fix accordingly as we go.
Thank you for all your feedback. It's really appreciated. And just know that we continue to listen to everything that you are writing us and feedback that you're giving. We think we have a big weekend ahead. We have a 3-day weekend here in the US. And we will be here and listening to everything that you're saying, and we'll immediately jump on big problems that come up and things that you're pointing out to us. The plan is that we have video updates to you frequently. The next one is planned for Tuesday. And at that point, we think we'll actually have some of these things either fixed already or have made major progress. So for now, have a nice weekend. Thank you for listening to this. Thank you for giving feedback, and have fun playing Crackdown.
Yeah, thanks.